FIFA is corrupt. It was an injustice. They wanted Argentina to win. Good morning, everybody. Paul Ihander with you. Max Goren is back as well on a Wednesday. Second day of school for many school kids around Wake County. I know my youngest had a good first day. Happy for her. She was all smiles, so that's a good thing, right? That is a good thing. Yeah. You know, if Egypt doesn't park the bus for 25 minutes, they might actually have a shot in that game against Argentina. Argentina just outclassed them. No sour grapes. It's what it is, right? It's what it is. Every time the Carolina Hurricanes lost in the Eastern Conference Finals, it was because the fix was in, or there was a voodoo hex, or whatever it was, right? And we all have an excuse for losses. It all happens. It's what it is. Yesterday, you got to lean in on a couple of... This is where, if you weren't locked into the late game yesterday, it wasn't really a late game, it was a late afternoon game, you're like, oh, okay, that's what soccer is supposed to be about? Playing to a draw and then deciding it with penalty kicks 2.5 hours after we started a game? Yeah, that was the Swiss and Colombia. Fine. You were treated to an afternoon delight with Argentina and Egypt, 3-2, and Lionel Messi was everything is advertised in sparking play and scoring a goal, and Argentina was a better team. And Egypt walked around and bitched and moaned late in that game, begging for calls. They went full Paraguay.
Yeah.
Full Paraguay.
The goal disallowed for Egypt was an absolute joke, though. Like, that is the definition of the VAR overreach, that it's kind of come into play as a conversation point, and it always has been, but ever since the introduction of VAR. But, we talk about it with the red card for Balogun that got suspended, and whether or not VAR kind of overstepped. Well, I think they definitely overstepped when they're taking a goal away for a foul that is all the way on the other side of the pitch before they even really start moving the ball up the field. So I think they have a point to be upset about that, but at the same time, they were still up 2-0. They still scored a goal after that to go up 2-0 with like 20 minutes left and couldn't even hold on to get it to extra time. So I don't feel as bad for you when that's the case.
I feel zero bad.
Not a good call, not a good decision, I think, by the referee and by the video assistant, but you just gotta find a way through when you're up 2-0 with that little of time left. And I mean, it's tough to do when you're going up against the greatest player to ever play the game. And he scores the equalizer, which was awesome. And then they didn't even need extra time to get it done and complete the comeback in the second half. So they made it through, again, kind of by the skin of their teeth. I guess that's just kind of Argentina's MO in this tournament. And then the second game was just an absolute snooze fest by comparison.
Goodness gracious. So we're now left with 8, right? We're left with 8. France and Morocco play tomorrow. You have that Spain-Belgium matchup, the big bad Belgium team that beat Team USA a couple nights ago. And then you actually get a doubleheader on Saturday, which I will, nope, I'll be at AC/DC in Charlotte. I won't be watching any sort of soccer.
It's tough today. There's finally no games for the first time since the start. And it's like, now you've reached the dog days of summer. There's not even multiple World Cup games. There's not even one World Cup game today. There's just nothing.
There's nothing for Max to do today.
You can watch some Major League Baseball, I guess. That's really all that's going on. Or the Bulls. The Bulls are playing.
Good. The Durham Bulls are
They're hot right now. It's the first place in the second half right now.
They'll take it. It's been a little hot second since they've been in that position before. Yeah, okay. So today's the day you get to check out. Today's the day I will offer you the out. Myself, Paul Ihander. I can't speak for Max, but Max maybe will let you do the same thing. Today is the day that I'm going to let you not care. I'm going to let you not care about the sports world because you get so few of these days to like clock in and clock out. And I'm not saying you need to turn away right now. I'm not saying that at all. But you've had quite the run here, folks. Those of you who've been listening to us day in and day out, and we appreciate it, there's no doubt about it. You've had quite the run. You've had a big spring and good start to the summertime vibes with the Carolina Hurricanes, for sure. There's no doubt about that. You had your fill of the NFL draft. You've had parades. You've had the World Cup that has been rolling here for an entire month. You've had U.S. Open golf. You have had milestone after milestone after milestone. And today's the day you get to check out and fill up the bucket. Now, however, For those of you who don't want to, get that 1 extra hour of sleep tonight, go to bed at 8:30 because you feel tired. And I'm like, do you feel the need to really make it happen? It's not withdrawal by any means. It's not withdrawal. There are still lots of things to be chatted about as we will get through today. But today, if you really need to, when you get off of work today, get out of school today, whatever it is, you can check out today. It is possible that you can actually go out and mow the lawn. You can actually clean a little house. You can actually go do something that you've wanted to do that is not sports related. Tonight would be the perfect night to cash in that gift card that you were given over the holidays to whatever restaurant it is, because there are no distractions. And if you find yourself looking at your phone at the kitchen table or at the dinner table at that special restaurant, you have lost it. The art of conversation is absolutely gone. But for those of you who are trying to dial in and stay in, there are some options for you. You can now realize the magic that has happened with the World Cup, and you can now follow whatever it is your favorite player when it comes to the so-called Golden Boot. The Golden Boot awarded to the magnificent soccer player who scores the most goals in the World Cup. And right now, it is the man who scored the equalizer in last night's game between Argentina and Egypt, Lionel Messi. You can lean in on that guy. This is what you have to do, and I think you've heard me say this before, but those of you are new to this program, and trust me, I see more and more out-of-state license plates every day with expired tags. Hello, Capitol Boulevard. Hello, Raleigh Police. You guys can make a mint and get some potholes fixed. To get into this now, to get into the last, 8, I'm leaning you in. This is like the Stanley Cup final between Carolina and Vegas. If you are not a hockey fan up until that point and you couldn't get into it, forget it. So this is your opportunity right now on this day of pause that you can get in and follow your favorite person. Like in NASCAR, pick a driver. If you wanted to get into NASCAR or even F1, any sort of auto sport, pick a driver. That's it. And you follow that driver the entire season.
Ironic that you're telling people to check in now that the United States has just been eliminated, and a lot of people are going to lose interest now. But to be fair, even if you were excited about that, I think everybody kind of knew, USMNT had no chance of actually making a deep run and competing to win this thing. So I guess, yes, out of the teams and players that have a chance to contend for this World Cup, now is the time, because out of the 8 that are left, I'd say almost everyone has a real chance. I don't think really Switzerland is a contender. As much as everybody likes Norway and Erling Haaland, and I want to see him play as long as possible, I don't think Norway is really a contender to actually win the whole thing. And then out of the teams that are left, you could take pretty much anybody, and I think anybody else has a real chance to win this thing. France, obviously, the big favorite, 2018 champions, 2022 runners-up.
They are athletic and speedy.
They've got
and
Mbappe,
creative.
they've got Dembele, they've got Michael Olise. They've got a ton of star power all over that lineup. And that matchup tomorrow, that's good. I think that'll probably end up being one of the better quarterfinals between them and Morocco, which is probably the best or second best African side that there's ever been in the World Cup. And they went to the semifinal in 2022, so they're trying to continue kind of a good run for this generation of players and maybe see if they can go as deep as they ever have. But they have a big task ahead of them tomorrow. But, yeah,
Pick
again,
one.
it's a timeout now. Just a midweek. There's not much going on. If there's a TV show you wanted to watch to catch up on,
A hard binge watch.
a movie you've been meaning to watch,
A recipe you've wanted to master.
I will say it's going to be a tough double screen action for me tomorrow. But Big Brother has the season premiere tomorrow, and I have to tap into that. But France Morocco is going to be hard to look away from, I will say.
So the top 8 teams remaining, 4 of those teams feature the top 4 goal scorers here in the World Cup. Lionel Messi, of course, who is a transformational player. Erling Haaland, as Max mentioned, for Norway. Mbappe for France. And one Mr. Harry Kane for England. And you're going to go, okay, all these guys can do a thing. So you got to pick one. And I say pick one because 30 million people watched Monday night's game in English between Team USA and Belgium, okay? And you stayed. You stayed through the first 15 or so minutes of the second half, and then you watched that goalie debacle, and then it was over. But you stayed. 30 million people. Add the Spanish audience on Telemundo, and you had another 10 million. So 40 million. They're saying this is the largest sporting event televised audience outside of the NFL. Ever. So if you were dialed into that and you're trying not to exit stage left on soccer's biggest stage here, then pick a team. Pick a player and just watch them and spotlight it on your own. But you'll be better off picking a team of the one of the 8 left. And it's okay. Pick the long shot if you have to, because not all of these are actual long shots at this point. These are expectations for these teams.
Pretty much, other
expectations.
Than, I mentioned Norway maybe not contending to necessarily win the World Cup, but look, if they pull off another upset win, and then, Leo Messi and Argentina win another one against Switzerland, which they'll be heavy favorites, that matchup of those two, Holland and Messi in the semifinal, would be an incredible matchup of two of the top talents that I would love to see going head-to-head. And Argentina's kind of had their plate full with a lot of these teams that have been considered, lesser opponents.
They all step up, right?
Yeah, Cape Verde, and then they're down 2-0 against Egypt yesterday before coming back. So I'm not going to discount Switzerland's chance to maybe knock them off, but if they get through that, I think Norway maybe could push them a little more. I mean, Norway and England itself, that's a really good matchup that I'm looking forward to watching on Saturday. And I did mention, I didn't want to call out Norway and Switzerland as quote-unquote non-contenders. And then I feel like I should probably also include Belgium in that group. I don't think they can win the World Cup, especially since they're playing Spain on Friday, who probably is the co-favorite at this point next to France. But I think any of those other 5 have a real shot of actually winning the World Cup. I mean, there's a lot of good storylines left here, despite the fact that the USMNT is not involved, which, if we're being realistic, is probably what we should have expected. I did predict a quarterfinal finish for them, so they fell a little bit short of that, but it was a pretty average appearance for them in this tournament. So now we can kind of, for lack of a better word, let the big boys kind of handle it from here.
It's where we're at. It's where we're at. When you get to 16, when you lose, again, disappointment. When you get to 8, you start thinking to yourself, man, we could have beat them. Something could have gone our way. And then the rest of the way, it's just like, hey, we got here. We couldn't get it done. And you have years and years and years to soak it up. So,
who do you think is winning from this point out, Paul?
Moving forward, I'm leaning on Argentina until you tell me not to.
I think it's going to be a France and England final. Originally, I said Argentina in the pre-tournament, but they've looked a little questionable against some of these weaker sides. I think England can get past Holland and Norway and then beat them in the semi, and then it'll be them against France in the final. And I think from there they'll probably be France, which is kind of unfun, but they're just so good. Like I don't know how anybody can beat them.
They are creative. I'll say. But until Argentina, the number 1 team, gets knocked off, that's who you lean with, right? Next year, Carolina Hurricanes for hockey.
I'm Max Goren with 3 things you need to know right now from 99.9 The Fan. Today is the first day since June 11th without a World Cup game, as the round of 16 wrapped up yesterday. Leo Messi and Argentina came back from down 2 goals in the second half to defeat Egypt, followed by Switzerland advancing past Colombia in a penalty shootout. An elaborate 6-team trade went down in the NBA yesterday, involving the Pistons, Grizzlies, Clippers, Bucks, Mavericks, and Wizards. Among the moving pieces in the deal were Chris Middleton returning to Washington and D'Angelo Russell heading to Memphis. Other previously announced moves were folded into the deal as well. The first-place Durham Bulls will look to continue their hot start to the second half tonight when they take on the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Bulls coverage is available on 620 AM Buzz Sports Radio, 99.9 FM HD2, and WRAL News Plus, with first pitch scheduled for 7:05 p.m. For all the latest news on your favorite teams, download the 99.9 The Fan app or visit 999thefan.com.
Yeah, 6-team trade. Give me a break. The NBA at some point is going to have like a 12-team trade, and they're just going to put all the signings in place, and they're just going to lump them all together and go, yeah, we just executed our largest trade in league history.
Don't even get me started. I hate their cap structure, the way that their moves go,
How
way
many aprons do you get?
You get drafted, but it was another team that really drafted you because they traded for the pick, but we can't make it official until July 6th. Well, who decided that? Like, well, let's just make it official now so the kid can wear the draft hat of the team that just drafted him.
Right. I agree
Stupid.
with that. I absolutely
Well,
agree.
we got a first apron, a second apron. Hey, how about just a salary cap?
Right.
Is it that hard?
Yeah. We'll just make you pay penalties, billionaires. Pay penalties for spending more money than you should be spending. Wait, you know what that's called in real world? That's called interest at 29.9%. That's what that is. Yeah. Uh-huh. Different rules, different strokes, different folks. I totally get that. LeBron James has whittled down his list, apparently, and they are all Eastern Conference teams. This is the latest coming out of Shams and Brian Windhorst. Brian Windhorst, by the way, he thinks he knows where the king is headed, and it's a very, very familiar place in Cleveland.
People in the league are certainly, I think that it's pointing towards Cleveland, but they are operating off vibes. And if you ask me, are the vibes pointing towards Cleveland? Yeah, the vibes are pointing towards Cleveland, but it's just vibes. And I wish I could sit here and tell you, my sources tell me, Chris, that at 6:14 p.m. on Wednesday, here's the thing. In 2010, he announced on live television. In 2014, he announced on the internet. I mean, it was basically through a magazine, but it's essentially in an internet article. Yeah. In 2018, it was a press release. Now he gets to pick the medium. So we'll see.
This is a hold for the rest of the NBA. And do you push your chips in if you're a team that thinks you can get LeBron James and you're holding out hope? Like Golden State. Golden State's leaving a spot open for LeBron James right now. Like, we have a spot for you, dude. If you want to come run with us, if you want to come run with Steph one time, have a little kind of mini dream team thing going on, Draymond Green and whatnot, you come here, play with us, we'll make it happen. They're leaving a spot open. This is widely known. But it feels like LeBron James, and Cleveland's not the only team involved apparently in this mix. Philadelphia has reached out very quickly and believes they can put LeBron within their lineup and give him a legitimate shot at a world championship in Philadelphia, which would be like, you want to be lauded as a god, that would be the place to win your championship. Like, it would be GOAT status +1. And then Miami apparently is holding out hope too because of familiar ties. But LeBron is not taking the visits. Apparently it's Rich Paul, his agent, who's taking all the pitches and then relaying everything to LeBron into how things would fit, where he would best be suited. Would he be option 1A, 1B, 1C, maybe not even option D at this point? We know LeBron's not coming off the bench. That's not happening. LeBron at this point in his career is not going to come off the bench. He wants to start. He wants to win another championship. But he's choosing those terms. That's why he's not returning to the Los Angeles Lakers. He's felt he's done everything he can for that franchise and then some. And he did. And he gets to put his name amongst icons when it comes to the NBA. I'm like, literally, again, you talk about the logo, right? Jerry West, who everyone believes should be changed to whatever it is. That's fine. I don't care about that. Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Vlade Divac, Pau Gasol. The list goes on. The vibes are positive for his time in Los Angeles. J.J. Redick loved him up. He played with some of the best. And now he gets to choose where he wants to go, but it all points to the East. Now, if he's going to play with Donovan Mitchell, who signed a 4-year maximum contract extension, and actually, because he signed this, he actually loses out on money. He could have had a longer-term deal, a 5-year deal, which would have been north of $350. But he took 4, and now there's room for LeBron, perhaps. Here's Shams Charania, ESPN, talking about that extension and if it affects the chase for LeBron in Cleveland.
It certainly helps because here you have a franchise cornerstone in Cleveland now doubling down on the franchise. This is the second extension Donovan Mitchell has signed since joining the Cavs in 2022. And I'm told Donovan Mitchell has been hands-on with his approach to trying to help the Cavs and work with the Cavs on roster upgrades after their run to the Eastern Conference Finals. And that does include the pursuit of LeBron James. And Donovan Mitchell has made it clear behind the scenes that he would embrace LeBron James coming and joining him in Cleveland.
Sure he would. Yeah, I would. If I ran Paul's Hamburgers and said, you know what, LeBron, I got a job for you, I would embrace LeBron James walking into my hamburger restaurant. Like, who wouldn't? And Mitchell's really, really mad about how things went down last year against New York. Like, he's like, man, we were awful. We were awful. And he really likes being in Cleveland. And that kind of passion should feed off the passion of LeBron James for what he has for Cleveland and having brought them a championship. Simply put, that should be the play. Should be the play. Is it the gut vibe that he's coming? See, there's a benefit. We benefit from that here locally, especially if you're an NBA fan, casual fan. You would get to see LeBron a couple more times. Like in Los Angeles, you had one opportunity with the Lakers. They only come out east one time.
Yeah.
And that's if they didn't rest him due to load management.
If they didn't rest him or if he was dealing with a nagging injury of some sort. He's 41 years old now, and I think that may have been the case this past season when they came to Charlotte. I think he was out due to an injury early in the season, if I remember correctly. But yeah, a couple more opportunities. Look, I mean, I have stake. I split season tickets for the Hornets. We actually upgraded our seats this year down to the lower level. So if there are multiple LeBron games that we could potentially get some resale value out of, I'm all for it.
There you
go. Eastern Conference opponent. Heck, make it a divisional opponent. I know he haunted Charlotte many years when he was with the Miami Heat. There was a playoff series in there, I think maybe 2, but they didn't go all that well, so they've kind of been memory hold other than Josh McRoberts dunking on somebody. I don't remember. It might have been on LeBron. That's like the only highlight because they got swept in those series.
Got that in his office at home.
Yeah, but if he wants to come in division and, again, boost up those ticket prices, fine by me. Absolutely fine by me.
Selfish.
Cleveland, though, like I thought a big factor in this was LeBron's new golf addiction. Like he wanted to go somewhere where he could golf. Like you can't golf in Cleveland during the winter.
You cannot.
You know where they have golf year round though?
I do.
Charlotte. And that's in the East as well.
There are how many Pinehurst courses there? There's like 9, right?
They would give him a membership in a heartbeat.
They would name one after him.
And it's just a little too far though.
LeBron number 6.
Is he taking the Amtrak up from Charlotte to Pinehurst?
Why not? He'd have his own private car.
I wonder if that's fast enough. But look, it seems like it's going to be Cleveland by many indications, which it makes sense. I guess he would come home and kind of finish with that team, with that city. But there are a lot of questions about his fit next to James Harden on that team as well. I think that gets a little overlooked. And I'm someone who's a fan of James Harden. Like I think he gets a little bit too much hate. I know he basically has not performed in the playoffs at any point in his career, except maybe if you go back to the very start when he was more of a bench guy coming out for the Thunder. But I feel like James Harden's catching a few too many strays in this regard. Like he averaged 8 assists last year. He's known to be a decent distributor. It just kind of falls apart when it gets to the postseason. But look, if you've got a LeBron James that's played as much postseason basketball as anybody in the history of the NBA, if he's there for you to kind of lean on and to maybe take a little pressure off, who's to say that couldn't help him kind of elevate in that moment and maybe get over whatever playoff bugaboos are there? You've got him. You've got Donovan Mitchell now re-signed on that extension. You've got a bunch of young pieces when it comes to Jared Allen. I guess he's not that young anymore, but him and,
he can still get up.
Evan Mobley and it's a solid rotation. They'd definitely be contenders in the East. I think if he were to go to Cleveland, then I think it's a pretty, to me, clear top 2 with them and the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, you've still got the Pistons hanging around from last year. We're a 60-win team and won the Eastern Conference as well. So, I mean, look, the East is getting competitive. For all the lumps that they've taken over the years compared to the big, bad Western Conference, like the Eastern Conference is loading up. So if LeBron joins whatever team over on this side of the nation, it's going to be a big boost to the competitive balance in terms of the 2 conferences.
Handful of Summer League notes to pass along to you last night. Cameron Boozer did not play in Memphis's exhibition Summer League game against the Atlanta Hawks, but Henry Vasar did. Henry Vasar started last night for Atlanta, played half a game, had 11 points, shot a couple of threes, buried a couple of those, had a couple of rebounds as well, had a handful of rebounds, but had 5 fouls. And in Summer League, by the way, you can foul as many times as you want. It's the best time about Summer League. I'm like, you'll have guys with 7 fouls in the first half. You do not foul out of a Summer League game.
Yeah, and
you just foul.
There's not even any of that today either. They're in the midst of
Summer League today.
Yeah, they're in the midst
right.
of going to Las Vegas because
Vegas.
the first Las Vegas games are going to be tomorrow. So there's not even NBA Summer League today. Look, it's a good day if you're a baseball fan, or there's probably some WNBA games today, I assume.
Are there? Does it
yeah, there are
matter?
3. There are 3 WNBA games, so there's a little something for somebody out there. But
there you go.
Not exactly a diverse menu. It's Wimbledon too.
There's Wimbledon. Yes, the mighty Toronto Tempo and the Golden State Valkyries are playing as the 2 new expansion teams. So there's something to dig into. And the funny part about that one is that one's not even on TV. Like, what are you doing? Like, the WNBA commissioner, I dislike her so much.
Another great business decision by Kathy Engelbert.
Kathy Engelbert needs to go. I've said this for years. Like, absolute mismanagement. She just cashes checks.